First, it's Wladimir Klitschko versus Kubrat Pulev in November 2014.
Body shot.
Pulev's sole defeat came against Wladimir Klitschko at O2 World, Hamburg, Germany.
Obviously, early in this fight is what he has to do, and a left hook.
In the fifth round, Klitschko turned back the aggressiveness, opting to work his jab and clinch when necessary. He landed one final crunching left hook that flattened Pulev and put him down right away.
Pulev, down goes Pulev on another left hook. And that may be the one from which he does not get up. He's done.
Klitschko's left hook ended the fight at 2:11 in the fifth by knockout. Next, it's Wladimir Klitschko versus Oleksandr Povetkin. This was October 2013. Klitschko initiated repeatedly roughhouse tactics throughout the match with Povetkin at Olympic Stadium in Moscow. This included Klitschko's leaning on his opponent and pushing his head down and throwing Povetkin into the ropes, preventing him from clinching. Klitschko landed a terrifying left-hand punch to Povetkin's face that left him stunned with swollen and bleeding eyes. With a 9.2 rating, this fight became the most popular sporting event on Russian television and Ukraine television in 2013. Our third match was Klitschko versus Alex Lepai. This was April 2014.
Good shot.
Lepai punched Wladimir but collapsed because of the opponent's extremely accurate counterattacks on fight night in Oberhausen, Germany.
Slippery. Lepai. He doesn't look slippery.
Staggering to his feet, the Australian suffered another blow to the jaw and succumbed in the end.
Length and size and power that Klitschko has, and there he goes.
Big thudding blow from Wladimir.
Klitschko had his 53rd knockout win out of 62 victories.
And is in front of a guy that so far he's had no ability to get close to.
Second knockdown of the round.
Thereby defending the WBA and IBF belts, and continued to hold the world record for the time reigning at the top of heavyweight boxing. Our fourth match is Wladimir Klitschko versus Francesco Pianeta. This was May 2013. The match between Klitschko and Pianeta took place in an extremely thrilling SAP arena in Mannheim, Germany. From the start, Klitschko systematically shut down the Italian, consistently with straight right-hand shots causing Pianeta to be stunned, and he's down right on the spot. This is the third time Klitschko put Pianeta down in the fight, and it was stopped at 2 minutes 52 seconds. Our fifth fight is Klitschko versus Tony Thompson, July 2008. And in the 10th round, Thompson fell to the canvas during a clinch. In the middle of the 11th, Klitschko caught Thompson with a straight right hand, which Thompson didn't see coming, falling to the canvas again. Thompson beat the count, but was unsteady on his feet, prompting the referee to stop the fight. Our sixth fight is Klitschko versus Tony Thompson, number 2. This was July 2012.
Руки у него короче.
Тренер Томпсона заводил своего подопечного.
And Klitschko continued his assault in the 6th, putting Thompson down again with a flurry of shots straight to the face and head. Thompson was knocked down in the corner. He tried to get up, but had to hold the ropes in order to stand. Which prompted the referee to stop the fight, declaring Klitschko the winner in the 6th round by technical knockout. Our 7th battle is Klitschko versus Jean-Marc Mormec. This was March 2012.
Chopping left hand there from Klitschko.
This fight took place at Esprit Arena, Dusseldorf, Germany, with Klitschko dominating and knocking out Mormec in the 4th round.
Klitschko. Big chance on Mormec, caught with the right, and he's gone down.
The champion met his opponent in the center of the ring and landed a consecutive left jab, then right hand and left hook, and sent the challenger down hard.
Oh, there's a right from Klitschko, and Mormec's down.
Wladimir finished Mormec off completely, and his legs were too unstable to continue at 1:12 of the round. The 8th battle is Klitschko versus Samuel Peter, September 2010.
Once or twice he has been shot. Vladimir.
Samuel Peter had a bout with Klitschko to replace Povetkin at the Commerzbank Arena in Frankfurt, Germany, for the IBF, WBO, and IBO heavyweight titles.
Looked in sparring, actually fighting.
The jab works well, the straight right.
Peter swung wildly in the 10th, and Klitschko put him down with a devastating uppercut and follow-up punches. In the end, he was floored right on the spot with glazed eyes and a puffy face.
He's lent on him an awful lot.
Very respectful.
The nature of the defeat to Klitschko in the rematch possibly spelled the end of Peter's career as a top-level fighter.
Samuel Peter showing uppercut. Down he goes. Should have stepped in earlier there.
Our 9th battle is Klitschko versus Eddie Chambers, March 2010. Klitschko was scheduled with a bout with Eddie Chambers at the Esprit Arena in Dusseldorf, Germany, to retain 4 heavyweight titles. Klitschko used a mean left hook and a right to try and trap Chambers on the ropes. And then a right hand takes Chambers back. He ducks and grabs, but is thumped by Klitschko's left hook. Klitschko landed a left hook on Chambers' temple. And that punch made him fall forward and lose consciousness for an extended period of time. Our 10th battle is Klitschko versus Hasim Rahman, December 2008. Klitschko won every round while making good use of his left jab in the fight with Hasim Rahman at SAP Arena, Mannheim, Germany.
In the early part of the round,
Rock is being
exhausted by that jab.
In the 6th round, Klitschko knocked Rahman down with a series of left hooks, leaving Rahman visibly disoriented.
An extra 10 or 15 seconds between rounds, so it will no longer be an option as he goes down for the first.
Rahman seemed unable to withstand Klitschko's punch power.
Hey, come to me, come to me. You okay? All right, I'm
Conditioning or both.
I've never seen Rahman have the fight.
Referee ultimately put a stop to the contest in the 7th round, with Rahman repeatedly absorbing punishment without being able to fire back.
Talking earlier about the difference between you and Vladimir.
Two different punches, jab, left hook, right hand. There's no uppercuts, there's no...
He won't be allowed to continue to take sustained punishment. And here it is. This is over, baby. This is done.
Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas. Spence unified his WBC and IBF titles with the WBA belt from Yordenis Ugas by a thrilling TKO. By the 10th round, Spence stormed to hurt Ugas repeatedly to the body and to the eye. Ugas's right eye was completely shut, and referee Lawrence Cole stops the bout at 1:44 of the 10th round.
Welterweight champion of the world, that's Junior!
Jaron Ennis versus Custio Clayton. Rising welterweight superstar Jaron Boots Ennis returns to the ring, defeating former Olympian Custio Clayton. Then Clayton attempts to duck under incoming fire from Ennis, only to be caught with a big right hand behind the ear. And the referee, Ray Corona, stops the bout in round 2.
Jaron Boots Ennis!
Naoya Inoue versus Nonito Donaire. Inoue, the champion from Japan known as the Monster, lit up the fight with a sensational 2nd round knockout of Nonito Donaire. Inoue walked Donaire down and dropped him with a heat-seeking right hand near the end of the round. Then Donaire went down to the canvas under Inoue's flurry of punches midway through the 2nd round.
Champion of the world, Naoya Monster!
Is Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. World light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev knocked out American rival Joe Smith Jr. inside 2 rounds. Beterbiev overmatched Smith, sending him through the ropes nearly with a flurry of vicious shots. He then uncorks a deadly combination of left uppercuts and then a right to scramble Smith's senses further, leaving referee Harvey Dock no option but to call it off.
Light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev!
It's Janabek Alam Canelli versus Danny Dignam. Middleweight Alam Canelli stops Danny Dignam in 2 rounds. The fight was incredibly one-sided, with Alam Canelli's flurries of straight punches breaking through Dignam's guard and keeping him backstepping. The Kazakh fighter dropped the opponent by knockout with a wild left uppercut, and the fight was stopped at 2:11 of the 2nd round.
Oh, right hand up top! He's in trouble! Oh, he's in
Joe Joyce versus Christian Hammer. Joe Joyce walked through the shots and eventually dropped Hammer 4 times in a 4th round knockout victory. In the 4th round, Joyce stepped up the attack and finished Hammer. He drops him to his knees 3 more times, a right to the body, a left hand during a flurry of shots, and finally a hard left to the body. After which referee Victor Laughlin waves it off at 1 minute 20 seconds.
Stops Luke.
David Avanesyan versus Askari Metz. David Avanesyan dismantles and stops Askari Metz in the 1st round. of Armenia landed a devastating left hook, shortly sending Metz crashing to the canvas. Avanesyan followed with a barrage of punches that forced a standing count to the referee, and he eventually stopped the contest with less than a minute to go in the round.
Avanesyan!
Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero. In round 6, Davis gave his legion of loyal fans what they came to see. He unleashed fierce counterhooks, forcing Romero to be unable to defend. Then he turns loose with a left-hand counter, catching Romero clean and sending him face first into the ropes before sliding right down to the canvas. Gennady Golovkin versus Ryota Murata. Golovkin unified the IBF and WBA middleweight titles with a 9th round stop over a brave Ryota Murata. Golovkin landed a right hand that split the end for Murata. Despite the best efforts to stay in the fight, another backhand rushed over and floored Murata. The match ended at 2 minutes 11 seconds. Jamie Munguia versus Jimmy Kelly. Unbeaten super middleweight Jamie Munguia defeats Jimmy Kelly. He finds an opening to rock Kelly with a left hook in the 5th. A right uppercut follows to split the opponent's guard. And a gutsy Kelly is up again, but a power flurry from Munguia put him back down again.
Right hand up top! He's in trouble! Oh, deep in the world!
William Smith versus Tommy McCarthy. William Smith stops McCarthy to defend his European and Commonwealth cruiserweight titles. As the Irishman fell back into the ropes, it gave William Smith the room to land a hard right. And McCarthy came crashing to the canvas face down, unable to beat the count.
Stops Luke.
Richard Riakporhe versus Fabio Turchi. Riakporhe, a former British champion, stops Turchi in the 2nd round. Riakporhe broke the Italian's guard with a right uppercut and brilliant left hook to the liver. Then only to see a member of his team rush into the ring with the towel in hand as the contest was brought to a halt.
Right hand up top! He's in trouble!
Andrew Tabiti versus Samarian Snyder. Tabiti ended Snyder with an excellent combination in this cruiserweight bout. Tabiti throws a quick left hook, making his opponent unable to concentrate. Right after he lowered his massive right arm to Snyder's face, referee rushes in, waving to stop the match in round 2.
Andrew Beast Tabiti!
Richard Riakporhe versus Dion Juma. Riakporhe produces a stunning stoppage victory over British cruiserweight rival Dion Juma. The Aylesbury slugger threw a huge right in the 8th, which hit Juma right in the solar plexus, and he could not get back.
Stops Luke.
Luis Ortiz versus Tony Thompson. A right-hand jab is unleashed to the head, making Thompson dazed, out of control, confused. But this is just a step to build momentum. Ortiz looked warily at his opponent to determine the destination of his next punch, and soon after, the Cuban boxer unleashed a decisive punch, causing Thompson to fall back onto the floor. King Kong's great knockout stopped the opponent with dull eyes and a blank face. Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale. Wilder successfully retained the WBC heavyweight title with an impressive knockout at 2:17 into the first round.
That would be wise. There's a big right hand. There's a jab followed by right hand. No, there's a big right hand!
Opening with a wild jab straight to the jaw, but this punch just built momentum for the last.
And that staggered Brazil, and Wilder went after him. Wilder went after him, and then Brazil pretty much turned around.
Soon after, he unleashes a harsh shot to his opponent's jaw, making Brazil dull, his neck fallen to the side, and this man is down to the canvas.
And it's done, Brazil! Brazil is hurt! Brazil is in a world of trouble!
Chris Arreola versus Jean-Pierre Augustin. Chris Arreola again lights up Jean-Pierre with an excellent technical knockout. Arreola initiated the combination along with a left hook straight to the face, followed by a right hook, and that had Augustin unable to lift his head. Next is a series of punches that rush to the upper section plus tremendous power, causing the opponent to lean back. Arreola's great knockout stopped Augustin with dull eyes and a blank face at 2:03 of the third round. Luis Ortiz versus Travis Kaufman. An accurate technical knockout unleashed by Luis Ortiz in the last minute of the 10th round.
By Luis Ortiz. From 10.
3 direct right-hand jabs right into Kaufman's face, leaving him dazed and trying to lower and cover up. Next, King Kong delivers a series of wild jabs to the head and body, causing the referee to stop the match because he didn't want Kaufman to leave the ring on a stretcher. What a horrifying TKO.
Jab coming out by Ortiz. Straight left, right on the middle.
Deontay Wilder versus Gerald Washington. Deontay Wilder's overwhelming knockout to stop Gerald Washington came at the 1:45 mark of the 5th round. It started with 3 destructive straight shots that pushed the opponent's head down, and right after, a series of powerful non-stop punches to the face, causing Washington to back into the ropes with a numb look. Luis Ortiz versus Razvan Kohanu.
John was very awkward. He's got to make a statement against Razvan.
He came forward with a right jab direct to Kohanu's head and body, causing him to tilt.
Nice left hook and
Without giving Kohanu a chance to counter, King Kong continued to unleash that deadly left hook, exhausting the Romanian. For this terrifying combination, Ortiz paralyzed his opponent and put him on the floor.
Ortiz stopping.
Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Kenny Lemos. Andy Ruiz Jr. successfully stops Kenny Lemos with a hard, precise knockout at 2:18 in the first round. First, Andy Ruiz started pressing and returning with a brutal right hook, followed by one more devastating right hook to the jaw, making Lemos dazed and unable to counter. After that, he lunges towards the opponent, unleashing 2 quick, precise right-hand attacks to the face, making him dizzy and leaving him with a puffy face. Deontay Wilder versus Johan Duhaupas.
Opening up uppercuts, chopping uppercuts, snapping back the head. Can't go wrong.
Wilder stopped Duhaupas by a TKO with a series of devastating punches. First, he unleashed 2 jabs to the head and left his opponent unable to respond. It was followed by about 10 consecutive jabs to the head and body.
Good body shot by Stans, hitting that left uppercut at an angle, following up with a chop.
Combinations landing fiercely on Duhaupas' face, leaving him dazed and leaning into the ropes.
He has brought good right hand.
Joseph Parker versus Alexander Flores. Opening with a devastating jab right to the neck. Then it's a direct right hook, forcing Flores to lean back into the ropes and defend himself. Immediately after, Parker rushes his opponent. He delivers 2 brutal shots right to the body, making Flores dizzy and out of control.
Oh my God, I really want.
Immediately after, a violent, precise right hook comes in, and that sent the great one down to the canvas. Tyson Fury versus Joey Abel.
As Eddie was saying, that was Tyson just dominating.
Tyson Fury closed the match with an excellent knockout of 3 devastating punches at 1:48 of the 4th round. First, 2 catastrophic jabs to the jaw, making his opponent dazed and out of control. This put Fury in the initiative and was motivated for the following punch. The final body shot with ravenous power delivered right to Joey Abel's body, leaving him numb and collapsed on the floor. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Josh Gormley. Andy Ruiz used a crazy knockout to drive Gormley back into the ropes and knocking him down at 1:42 into the 3rd round. The Destroyer's hands moved continuously and launched 2 hooks in a row straight to the jaw, followed by 2 furious jabs that pushed the opponent's head down. Immediately after that, with swift hands, Ruiz's thunderous punches went straight to the upper section, leaving Gormley stunned and unable to counterattack. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury closed the match with a knockout using 3 devastating punches. First, it's a brutal punch to the body, leaving the opponent stunned. Then he's followed by a big left hook to the face.
He is pressing forward. He slips and looks to counter once again.
This puts Fury in control, and he sets up for the follow-up punch. A final ferocious right hook to the opponent's head to clinch the knockout. Tyson Fury and Tom Schwartz.
Well, I'll take from
Tyson Fury creates a wild knockout with 4 consecutive punches that would terrify any fighter.
It is. Nice and smooth boards and all.
Opening with 2 straight to the face, causing Schwartz to cover up.
He brought it forward.
Cut from Tyson Fury. Comes in with a tries to fire back. And just like
immediately after, Fury delivered 2 consecutive hooks straight to the face and head with both hands, causing Schwartz to kneel on the floor with his face bloody.
Trouble. Big man's blasted away. He's taking a huge punishment.
Oleksandr Usyk and Tony Bellew.
Not much of an effect.
and starts to feel the pace as it goes on then. It's bad news. Some good work there as Teddy Buddy dropped his arm.
Usyk satisfied his boxing fans with a great knockout in the 8th round. He initiated these combos as 2 right-hand jabs straight to the head and forced Bello to lean back.
Well, if when this switches off against somebody like Usyk, he's very collected.
Followed by 2 powerful jabs to the face, causing his foe to be dazed and unable to counterattack. And in the end, Usyk unleashed 2 big punches, knocking Bello to the mat. Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Povetkin. Anthony Joshua stops Oleksandr Povetkin by TKO with a combination of 5 punches.
Surely, he might do here. Lovely right hand. Best of the fight from Joshua.
First, he unleashed 2 to the head that left the opponent unable to respond and remain on defense. It was followed by 2 consecutive hooks to the jaw. And the final right-hand punch was delivered quickly and fiercely to Povetkin's face, planting him on the ring mat.
Incredible. He has magic.
And just the arsenal.
Anthony Joshua and Charles Martin.
Fury a couple of years ago. Otto Wallin.
Anthony Joshua wins the IBF heavyweight title by knockout.
Martin in front of him, circling. Joshua looking to land on that.
He opened with a left-hand jab. This punch sets him up that his next destination is Martin's body.
He's down again, strolls into the corner as if to say job done.
Right after that, Joshua unleashed a right hand, causing the opponent to fall and eventually lose the match.
Martin showing reluctance.
Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz won. Wilder successfully retained the WBC heavyweight title with a brutal knockout in the 10th round. 3 direct right-hand jabs straight to the opponent's body. Then Wilder delivers 3 quick jabs to the body and head.
Look how calm Ortiz is, though. He's staying at range.
And immediately made his opponent stunned, covering up to defend. Right after, a precise uppercut, and King Kong is down on the canvas. Michael Hunter and Mike Wilson.
And all cool bites, bold flavors right now, big bold shots by Michael Hunter.
In the final moments of the 4th round, Michael Hunter stops Mike Wilson by knockout.
That was in Saudi Arabia, nice right hand followed by an uppercut.
Hunter charges his opponent, puts a big left hook right on the jaw, and puts Wilson out of operation.
Later tonight, big.
Followed by a lightning-fast wild right hook, Wilson was unable to respond and falls back on the floor. This combo contributes to Michael Hunter's classic knockout streak.
That's a bad man.
Joe Joyce versus Oleksandr Usyk. An accurate and quick knockout was used by Joe Joyce to stop Oleksandr Usyk. A direct left-hand jab right to the opponent's head, forcing him into the ropes. Now Joyce delivers 2 devastating jabs right to the face.
Going back to maybe reverting back to type. Good shot.
Good work.
His opponent soon found himself on the floor after taking 1 too many punches.
See it out to the bell to end.
Andy Ruiz versus Devin Vargas. Ruiz defeats Vargas with a lightning knockout at 1:38 of the 1st round. His massive right hand lands on Vargas's head, causing him to stagger and meet the canvas. Andy Ruiz versus Carl Davis. Opening with 3 direct punches to Davis's head, leaving him stunned and unable to counterattack. Soon after, he lands a left hook on Davis's head to finish him off, With quick and accurate combinations, Andy Ruiz had conquered his opponent and soon put him on the mat. Derek Chisora and Artur Szpilka. Chisora stopped Szpilka by knockout in the second round. He struck suddenly with 2 body shots and caught his opponent totally off guard.
Doesn't want to be.
Immediately after 3 devastating precise jabs would go right to his face.
Yeah, he's certainly got the focus. Nice body work there.
The terrifying knockout puts Szpilka down, and he's out and collapsed on the floor at the 101 mark. Luis Ortiz versus Alexander Flores.
Ortiz is a very good boxer.
Right at 45 seconds of the first round, Ortiz creates a quick and precise knockout.
Left hand right there.
That's the left hand you were talking about.
King Kong slowly moves towards the opponent, determining the destination of the final shot. And shortly after, King Kong delivers a lightning-quick right-hand strike to Flores' flank, causing him to kneel on the floor with a numb look. Anthony Joshua and Gary Cornish.
Joshua biding his time and then unloading again.
Anthony Joshua ended his bout against Gary Cornish with a TKO in the first round.
Could this be gone into first? He's caught him with another right hand. And Cornish
Opening with 3 terrifying punches to Cornish's head, leaving his opponent stunned and tilting his head back.
Joshua looking very sharp.
Right after, he landed a wild left hook, followed by a violent uppercut on Cornish's jaw to end the punch streak. And with a quick and accurate knockout, Joshua made his opponent kneel down with a painful look. Deontay Wilder versus Malik Scott. Wilder stopped Scott by a flash and quick knockout at 136 of the first round. He unleashes a violent punch to the head that leaves his opponent unable to respond and lower his face. It was followed by a devastating right to Scott's face, leaving him dazed along with collapsing on the floor. Anthony Joshua and Michael Sprott. Joshua satisfied his fans with an excellent technical knockout in the first round. He initiated combos as 3 devastating jabs right to the face, forcing Sprott to lean back.
Waiting for the explosive moment.
Followed by 4 lightning-fast body shots, causing his foe to be dazed and unable to counterattack.
Joshua just teeing off.
In the end, Joshua unleashed a series of disastrous punches, causing Sprott to hold his head with dull eyes and a blank face. Deontay Wilder versus Serhiy Liakovic.
He wants to do that more tonight. Good, quick left hand shown by.
Wilder stops Liakovic with a terrifying knockout at 143 in the first round. 2 brutal consecutive jabs right to the face sends his opponent into the ropes with a frightened look. Including a fiery mind, Wilder leaps forward and unleashes 3 more devastating punches to the head. That knockout put Liakovic to the floor and made him twitch right on the spot. Dylan White versus Iranu Bieto Costa Jr. Dylan White ended the match right at 2:41 of the first round with an amazing knockout. He whacked Beato Costa Jr. with a violent punch to the head, forcing him to lower his head in defense. Without giving Jr. a chance to counterattack, White continued to launch destructive punches, exhausting the Brazilian. With this terrifying combination, White paralyzed his opponent and puts him on the floor. Oleksandr Povetkin versus Mike Perez. Oleksandr Povetkin overmatches and stops Mike Perez with a quick and precise knockout at 1:31 of the first round. Povetkin unleashes a wild left-hand punch, stunning his opponent, and it gives him the motivation for the following. Right after that, 2 sharp jabs with destructive power to Perez's head, causing him to stagger and fall head-first into the rope. Derek Chisora and Becca Lobjanidze. Chisora stopped Lobjanidze with an excellent knockout in round 1.
Viable future in the heavyweight division. Lobjanidze just
He was struck suddenly with a left hook that caught Lobjanidze totally by surprise.
Since then, lost to Otto Wallin in 3 rounds.
Immediately after, Chisora's big arms rush into the opponent's face. This terrifying knockout put Lobjanidze to the floor at 29 seconds in. Joseph Parker and Daniel Martz.
Outside if he possibly can. Daniel Martz.
An accurate and quick knockout was used by Parker to stop Martz at 1:57 of the first round.
Just feeling him out. There he goes.
2 left hooks straight to the opponent's head, forcing Martz to lower in defense.
There he goes, a big body shot.
Then Parker delivers a devastating right-hand jab to the face, and it made his opponent numb and fall face down on the floor.
Overhand right. And there's a right hand that didn't quite catch him. The left.
Chris Arreola and Seth Mitchell. Arreola ended the match in the first round with a destructive knockout. He came forward and whacked Mitchell with 2 consecutive punches to the body, causing him to lower in defense. Without giving Mitchell any chance to counterattack, Arreola continued to launch a series of wild punches, exhausting Mitchell. The terrifying combination, the nightmare, caused the opponent to flee in panic at 2 minutes 26 seconds. Ortiz versus Charles Martin. Luis Ortiz knocked Charles Martin out in the 6th round inside the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood and got 2022 off to an explosive start.
Some of it I agree with, some I don't.
It was all Martin during rounds 1 through 5. He was in a proactive position and his defensive shots were doing wonders.
And there's another big left.
Martin dropped Ortiz with a simple jab that shocked the crowd, the announce team, and Ortiz himself.
The other side. Go!
However, Ortiz had a huge comeback as the bell rang for the 6th round.
You know,
and there's something called protect yourself at all times.
Well, no, he was incapable of doing it. Right. Ortiz just kept circling him.
He battered Martin with overhand shots, knocking him into the ropes. Then Ortiz landed body shots and then combinations to the head. Another overhand shot has Martin down again, and the referee has no choice but to call the fight. First, Joshua versus Carlos Takam, TKO 10.
But he outlasted in the Ukraine, but Joshua has that.
Anthony Joshua claims a 10th round stoppage win over Carlos Takam after a brutal battle in front of 75,000 at Principality Stadium. The second round saw Joshua increase his punches and body shots on Takam, causing him to be unable to counterattack.
With an injury or a cut, we want to see this fight.
In the fourth round, Takam received a cut above his right eye from consecutive wild hooks early in the round. In the final moments, Joshua lands a solid countered left hook, which causes Takam to stumble and touch the canvas with his right glove, scoring a knockdown for Joshua. AJ stops the Frenchman on his feet in round 10. The end coming after Joshua lands several unanswered punches on Takam.
It's a horrendous cut at him, to be fair to Carlos Takam.
Prompting referee Edwards to call off the fight, with Joshua retaining his titles via technical knockout.
Phil Edwards, very experienced referee, having a look at these damage.
Next it's Anthony Joshua and Eric Molina, TKO 3.
This is heavyweight boxing.
Joshua defeats Molina, retaining his heavyweight title via a third round technical knockout at Manchester Arena in Manchester, England. The opening round saw many actions, with the highlight being combinations from Joshua, where the champion comfortably won on the scorecard.
Catches Molina, backed up on the ropes with a big right hand.
The second round saw much of the same, with some left uppercuts that momentarily stunned Molina.
This is heavyweight boxing.
In the third round, Joshua begins throwing combination punches. At the halfway point, he lands a mighty straight right to drop Molina to the canvas. Then Joshua pounces on the American with a flurry of devastating punches, culminating in a left hook to force the referee to call a halt to the fight after those thrilling moments. Third, it's Joshua versus Dylan White, TKO 7. Anthony Joshua has defeated Dylan White at the O2 Arena in London at the 7th round with a knockout in a thrilling fight. Joshua picked up the British heavyweight title in the process. In the opening round, Joshua threw some power jabs that wobbled White.
Unsteady for a moment there. It was the left hook that did it.
And at the start of the second, Joshua overwhelmed White with a consecutive stab.
Between these two, they really don't get along. A lovely right uppercut.
After that, however, perhaps White has the upper hand, landing a solid combination that staggers Joshua. The third round saw both men working behind the jab, each landing stiff left hands.
Definitely take the toll, especially with the tempo that Joshua...
The bell sounds to start the fourth, and Joshua begins to find his target with more frequency, leaving White unsteady on his legs on more than one occasion.
Sharp jab.
Left hook in the left hooker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Joshua landed some more eye-catching punches in the fifth and sixth round, leaving his opponent stunned and somewhat exhausted. The end comes in the 7th round. With less than a minute into the round, Joshua lands a right hand to the head of White, staggering the challenger, sending him reeling back into the ropes. After a sustained follow-up attack by the champion, a right uppercut lands on the chin of White, dropping the challenger, leaving him laying on his back and prompting Foster to forego the 10 count and wave off the contest. Klitschko versus Hasim Rahman, December 2008. Klitschko won every round while making good use of his left jab in the fight with Hasim Rahman at SAP Arena, Mannheim, Germany.
In the early part of the round,
Rock is being flustered by that jab.
In the 6th round, Klitschko knocked Rahman down with a series of left hooks, leaving Rahman visibly disoriented.
An extra 10 or 15 seconds between rounds will no longer be an option as he goes down for the first.
Rahman seemed unable to withstand Klitschko's punch power.
Hey, come to me.
conditioning, or both?
I've never seen Rahman have the fight.
Referee ultimately put a stop to the contest in the 7th round, with Rahman repeatedly absorbing punishment without being able to fire back.
Talking earlier about the difference between you and Vladimir.
Two different punches, jab, left hook, right hand. There's no uppercuts, there's no...
He won't be allowed to continue to take sustained punishment.
And here it is.
This is over, baby. This is done.
Our 12th battle, it's Klitschko versus Calvin Brock, November 2006. Calvin Brock went into his bout with Klitschko with an impressive run at Madison Square Garden, New York City. When round 7 came round, Klitschko constantly found the mark with power shots. Brock's legs began to get weary, and Klitschko put a stop to the bout in the 7th round with a 1-2 combo that dropped Brock's face right to the canvas. The right hand that Klitschko landed was a loud, thudding shot that could be heard echoing throughout the entire arena. Our 13th battle, it's Klitschko versus Chris Bird, April 2006. Klitschko faced Chris Bird for a 2nd time in the IBF heavyweight title in Mannheim, Germany. Klitschko dominated the fight using a jab and superior reach. He left Bird collapsed on the canvas, battered and bloody. The fight was waved off with 41 seconds into the 7th round.